Tribune.
Straight to the major headline. Chinese loan. Terms dangerous, say reps, as federal government confirms sovereignty clause. There's a rider. Nigerian government officials signed empty pages of loan agreements. So you can't put any amount there. $326 million loan on rice farming yet to be disbursed 4 years after signing. Amici defends contentious clause. DMO provides 3 out of 14 documents. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
I think President Buhari asked more places to beam the corruption, the anti-corruption satellites. Now, this one says reps Amici differ on $33 billion rail project loan. And riders, lawmakers query DMO over non-inclusion of contract agreements. Demand details on $500 million satellite rural telephony contract.
You hear some amount of money and you'll be like, I thought this
waited for projects never executed. Projects meant to take Nigeria
this period
higher.
We are supposed to be better off now. We are fighting corruption. I do not expect to be hearing some of the things I hear these days about this current government. Seriously. I mean, there's that expectation that at least stolen money should not, even if it will happen, it will not be, but the gravity with which and the brazenness, the nerve with which these guys cut away this money.
I know the body language of those who do get caught in the so-called anti-corruption net is always that, if you can read between the lines, that you are chasing me, you are also not clean. So most of them actually stand on that you too, if you must come to equity, you must come with clean hands.
Tola, one thing that caught my attention in this headline we just read is that if there's one major achievement that one can almost point to, we say rice, we stop importation and all that there's even a scam in the whole rice thing. $326 million loan on rice farming yet to be disbursed 4 years after signing. Is it that somebody kept it somewhere for some people?
If there's no scam, it would be on Nigerian. There's no scam.
Okay.
So this is the question again: is it in our genes? Is it in our genes?
We need God. Seriously, I don't even know what else to say. I don't know. As a nation,
as grandma in Ilorin would always say, "Along the well, we need God."
Wow. International flights. PTF differs as Sirica fixes August 29. Page 15 of the Punch newspaper.
That's also the banner headline of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. COVID-19 test a must as international flights resume August 29. The riders, patient rights WASC at isolation center as exams begin under strict protocols. Task force warns states on fund use.
Well, we have WASC holds WAEC false rumored paper leakage, exam suffers delay. That's on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. You have pictures speak. Serious social distancing inside the exam hall. All the best to the student. This is anti-cheating mode.
Yes, so that what came to my mind when I saw that photo, and then the so-called what they call them, medical centers where people go to cheat.
The fear of COVID is the beginning of wisdom.
All right, politics. The big one coming from Bayelsa State. Tribunal nullifies Bayelsa governor's election, orders fresh election, due to appeal judgment. Page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Punch newspaper decided to take it from the second line that it took Diri to appeal as tribunal sacks Bayelsa governor, orders fresh poll. Page 27 of the Punch newspaper.
And Nigeria's comatose refineries gulp 10 billion naira in 1 year, says reports.
So
10 billion naira doing what exactly?
Doing nothing. Welcome to Nigeria. All right. Experts finger petrol price hike orders as inflation hits 12.82%. Page 15 of the Punch newspaper.
Gbajabamila pushes for African countries debt cancellation. Page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. That's what we are looking forward to, and that's what we are taking.
We need it urgently, sir. Those debts had better be cancelled. But I doubt if China will cancel those guys. Okay. All right. Scarcity disrupts banks. IOC's telcos forex payments. Page 15 of the Punch newspaper. The scarcity of dollars.
No new projects in 2021, says federal government. That's on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Well, let's assume they are more than enough to chew already. And what with the uncompleted ones?
Let's conclude the ones you're doing already. Sounds nice. Nigerian traders shops. Federal government considers retaliatory action against Ghana. Page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
We'll see how that unfolds. How Ibadan suspected serial killer escaped. That's coming from the Oyo State Commissioner of Police. That's as lawmakers call for thorough investigation. That's on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Something is also here about that particular story. Serial killers escape. 2 cops face orderly room trial. Lawmakers demand probe. Okay. And I think we're glad to let you know that for this news and other related security information, please tune in to BCS TV this morning, as we'll be hosting the Commissioner of Police right here in Oyo State, Oyo State Command. It will be on AM 120 this morning. You don't want to miss it. If I were you, I'll go and turn on my TV now. Leave it on BCS so that you don't forget. Turn it on now, leave it on BCS TV. Okay? AM 120, the Commissioner of Police will be our guest. You do not want to miss that interview for anything. Okay? So, yes, serial killers escape. 2 cops face orderly room trial. Lawmakers demand probe. That's on page 10 of the Punch newspaper.
And governors back judicial autonomy. That's on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. Well, would that favor them in the circumstances?
Okay. Unilag increases security presence as Shoyombo resumes. That's the acting Vice Chancellor. That's the Chancellor.
I thought the other man said he was going to court.
Going to court means he has accepted that he has been removed. And there's no Senate sitting.
Well, I thought a restraining order or something would have been.
I don't know, but I mean, the new VC has resumed amidst tight security. It's so unfortunate that the Ivory Towers have been dragged down to this kind of political mud. It's so unfortunate.
And then
campus politics.
And we may the town and the gown, the insulation of the Ivory Towers from what actually goes on in the town, this town and gown thing. And eventually we begin to see what actually plays out in the political arena. That seat, well, Shoyombo may not actually be sitting too comfortably, because if we are talking about the judiciary now coming into this, and eventually the other man who wins in court, definitely to be like the case of a governor being ejected from a seat. Well, let's wait to see how things unfold.
All right.
We are not the judges here anyway.
Exactly. So, moreover, that's a university with faculty of law and several law professors. So they know what they are doing. And the pro-chancellor is also a lawyer too, anyway. So, Wale Babalaki is a lawyer himself, a senior advocate.
A big lawyer at that, so the advocate of Nigeria. Southern Kaduna El Rufai can meet. That's on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. It's talking about the Christian Association of Nigeria.
At least decided to go see him, and let's see how things turn out. If I respond to PGFDG, that's Progressive Governors Forum DG, is like fighting a pig. Of course, you know that's not Dayo, right? That's Sure Mole talking. The embattled erstwhile national chairman of the APC.
So we also spit more fire here. It says cowards using Progressive Governors Forum DG against me. That's coming from Oshiomole.
Okay.
Page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune.
So I hope they understand that it is more dangerous to go into a battle divided. It's not just about your opponent now. You are the mercy of enemies within the camp.
Definitely.
It's much more dangerous when you get shot by your own men from the back than from the enemy.
It's just like talking about civilizations that are falling in history. No civilization falls without first rotting from within.
Exactly.
So definitely that would give an upper hand to the enemy. And well, they are looking at all these considerations.
We'll do for commercial break. We'll go on that break. When we're back, more headlines. Don't go anywhere.
Ṣé ọ̀nà fún àyà tàbí inú rẹ̀ ń gbóná ni inú rẹ̀ ń dàrú? Andrews liver salt ń gbógun ti inú kíkún àti àyà títa ní wàrà ń ṣẹ̀ṣà. Tí àyípadà kò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà rẹ o.
Conversation with Dayo and Tola.
All right, so glad to know you're there. It's still Conversation with Dayo and Tola, coming to you live from the stables of Oluyole 98.5 FM, right here from Iliakede Orita Basharon Studios in Ibadan. Are you just tuning in? Well, we just started not too long ago. We go straight and continue with the headlines. How herdsmen killed my fiancé, kidnapped me, or your female farmer. Pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper.
Here in Oyo State. Taraba killings, thief back out of Commission of Inquiry. There are 2 repentant Boko Haram members from Kebbi return home to be rehabilitated by government. I wonder how glad their communities would be to see them back.
They will be glad. They should be. Okay. Ondo, Jagere picks rep as running mate. Page 27 of the Punch newspaper.
Okay. Zangon Qatar crisis. I'm not afraid to die, says Zamani Lekwot. Imagine Zamani Lekwot.
Well, some people already they've suggested that they should execute him. But, well, we'll see how the governor of Kaduna State. Let's see what, because a lot of people are all eyes on him. Some have even claimed that he's taking sides and all that. Well,
someone said that the death sentence should be revisited. He was sentenced to death in 1992.
Was converted to life, and eventually he was released. All right, 2.2 million voters to pick Edo governor on September 19. So 2.2 million voters are expected to go to the polls. Well,
I hope there's no voter.
But exactly, with all these
this fear,
drums of war here and there.
All right. News beyond Nigeria's shores now. Belarus president offers to hand over power after referendum as protest escalates. That's on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. And death toll from Somalia hotel attack rises to 17. Japan's economy suffers biggest slump in history.
Well, still in Nigeria's security. Nahaba, group faults leaders arrest, urges mass resistance. That's on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. And we can find here governors in support of judicial autonomy, says Fayemi. We also have troops kill 3 bandits, arrest Nigerian arms suppliers. Imo blames opposition for attack on Uzodima's convoy. And Tola, okay, that's some PR news right there. Let's see if we can take more economy team story before we go to sports. You have some headlines there?
Actually, these ones are on politics. On the 2020, APC aspirants Olanusi dissolved structures for Akeredolu's re-election. And this one says we have overcome 2015 setback. PDP tells APC, and APC says PDP sinking under Secondus watch. Throwing punches at each other.
Okay. On economy, federal government suffers 1 trillion naira revenue shortfall in 5 months. Projects 12.66 trillion naira expenditure in 2021. That's on page 25 of the Punch newspaper.
COVID-19 disrupts education of more than 70% of youth, says International Labour Organization. And removal of 23,039 pensioners from payroll. NUP tax PTAT to inform Buhari National Assembly PENCOM, as on the Labour page of the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, I think that's about that here. So slim paper today. Go straight to the sports page, which is not also much here. Page 31 of the Punch newspaper. Guso kicks against removal as Zamfara Athletics boss. And you also have Omo joins Upwell Fasaba. That's also on page 31 of the Punch newspaper. That's about all here.
And this one says Raw should have final say on players' invitation. Adepoju. Ilechukwu worried about his future at Heartland, and Mikel joins Took on a 1-year deal. Sports page of the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, that's about that. From here. Time check 6:52 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. Conversation with Dio and Tola. We go to the meat of the news.
I'll start with politics. Bayelsa State. The tribunal notifies Bayelsa governorship election, orders INEC to conduct fresh election within 90 days. I will appeal, says Governor Diri. The Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal on Monday gave split decisions in the petition filed before it by the Advanced National Democratic Party (ANDP) on the ground of unlawful exclusion in the November 16, 2019 governorship election in the state. As the tribunal started to deliver its judgment, its chairman, Justice Mohammed Ibrahim Siraju, announced that there were 2 judgments in the petition. He added that for the purpose of record, he only got to know about the majority judgment 5 minutes earlier. In the majority judgment delivered by Justice Yunusa Musa with the support of Justice Sikiru Owoduni, the tribunal nullified the election of Governor Doye Diri and his deputy Lawrence Erujakpo. The duo said they did not see the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Siraju, to discuss the majority judgment with him. According to Justice Musa, the petitioner submitted the names of Lucky King George and Peter Esikma as his governorship and deputy governorship candidates respectively to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), who later disqualified Esikma on the ground that he had not attained the constitutional age of 35. The petition of the tribunal stated later substituted Esikma's name with that of Inoue Janet, who was also disqualified on the same ground of not attaining age 35.
So what's the... No wonder INEC said they were in the right. And I was watching Barrister Festus Okoye on TV yesterday, and I was saying that what they did was not out of the ordinary.
What's saying that INEC actually lacks the power to disqualify any validly nominated candidate by his political party. I don't know what grounds the court is premising that.
So INEC should go ahead and feud. Okay, well, let the court decide. Governor Diri. He said Diri appeals as Bayelsa Tribunal sacks governor, orders fresh poll. It will be they have 21 days to respond to that, and we'll see whether because this is an indictment even on INEC. It has nothing to do with the governor himself.
And Governor Diri's party also said that that it was a pre-election matter and that the tribunal should not entertain it. But then the tribunal said, the court said that the petitioner only got to know of his unlawful exclusion during the November 16, 2019 election. So the court is now saying that means it not to be a pre-election matter. But,
well, let's wait for what the court will say about this.
But what this again brings to the fore the pertinent role of the judiciary to make or mar the electoral process. I still would like to see a day when we would have a much more enhanced political process where the apple cart would no longer have to be overturned after a governor or any elected public officer is sworn in. I mean, a situation where things are done rightly and perfectly. Now, being that as it may, I think Governor Diri and the party actually underestimated the advanced National Democratic Party and its candidate, Lucky King George.
You're right.
In terms of what they were bringing to court, otherwise, Diri and his party ought to have seen this coming. Now, there is a greater possibility, however, that the ANDP, in wanting to pursue this matter to a logical conclusion, may be acting on the prompting of a much bigger contender for the governorship seat. Because come to think of it, it's very, very unlikely that the ANDP would pull any weight in the event of another election which the court has ordered.
Very true.
So you begin to ask,
what do they stand again?
So what is really in it for that party? Could it be that there have been talks, compromises and discussions as to what King and this party would get in the event that another major contender emerges winner of a rerun of that election?
Clearly, I mean, somebody must be drumming somewhere and encouraging them to go ahead. But it's obvious that whether they like it or not, I mean, it's an indictment on INEC. So one will even expect INEC to appeal because this is an error.
Definitely.
I mean, claimed to have been committed by INEC. So we'll see how it goes. It's for the court to decide. They have 21 days to appeal, and I hope they don't even get chastised for fielding underage people and expecting to be placed on the ballot. Well, that's not our job here. Let the courts decide. Chinese loan. Terms dangerous, says Rep, as federal government confirms sovereignty clause. The House of Representatives on Monday faulted the sovereignty clause in Nigeria's loan agreement with China, saying it was dangerous. The chairman of the House Committee on Treaties, Protocols and Agreements, Nicholas Osai, who stated this in Abuja at the investigative hearing on external loans and commercial agreements, said Nigeria's loan agreement with the Asian country was being governed by Chinese laws. He said, despite the fact that the federal government in 2014 signed an executive order providing guidelines on waiver of sovereign immunity during loan and commercial agreement negotiations, Nigerian officials had been violating the order. Members of the executive who appeared before the committee were the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Ali Pantami, Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Meigari, and Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello. Others included the Director General, Debt Management Office, Patience Onia, Permanent Secretary, Special Duties in the Ministry of Finance, Aliyu Ahmed, and Director of Legal Services, Gabriel Christopher, both representing the Ministry of Finance, Budget, and National Planning. Osai, in his opening address, stated that the controversial clauses and agreements had been existing before the Muhammadu Buhari-led regime. He also stated that the probe was not about the ruling or Progressive Congress or the People's Democratic Party. He also said the lawmakers' probe was not limited to Chinese loans and commercial contracts. Also, I stated, we will like Nigerians to know that we are not focusing on only Chinese loans. From what we know, Nigeria has over 500 bilateral loan or commercial contract agreements and investment treaties with different countries and institutions. There's no way the committee will do a thorough job without segmenting the issues based on countries, institutions, or MDAs. Now, here is one of the, let's say a bombshell that was revealed yesterday. Nigerian officials signed empty pages of loan agreements Wait for this. Quote, this approach is the reason we have government representatives signing empty pages of loan agreement repayment schedule and other key documents required for the loan agreements to become effective. We have commercial contracts signed in US dollars, while the loan agreements for the execution of the same contract were signed in Chinese yuan currency in the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy Galaxy Backbone Limited. Hey, also I said the panel also noticed from documents that commercial contract prices signed by the Federal Ministry of Transportation alone were over $33 billion without any clear-cut financing arrangements. He added, most of those commercial contract agreements didn't also have local content clauses and were witnessed by non-properly designated and authorized officials. DMO provided 3 out of 14 documents requested by lawmakers. Well, the Honorable Minister there too started pointing fingers. He said the loan probe will also expose PDP government and all that. So it has become a PDP, APC thing. We politicize everything. When they discover, infractions, it has become... Tola, I don't know what to say. Chinese loan, terms, dangerous. Says reps as federal government confirms sovereignty clause. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
Well, where is this government's claim to due process, and thoroughness in the things they do? That's the first question. The second question I want to ask this morning is, where were all the economic experts, the think tanks, the financial intelligence units when these things were being done, and what's the desperation to sign empty contract pages? I'm telling you, the documents were
like signing an empty check. That should be. Who does that?
And these are things that involve technocrats. The highest level of.
That one on the side. Then the Galaxy Backbone. I looked at that minister yesterday. I looked at him. It's as if my hand should enter the TV. You signed something, took something to the Federal Executive Council to approve in US dollars. Whereas the contract that you're actually signing is in Chinese yuan. The exchange rate alone, by the time you convert now, you know how much money would have. I looked at him. I was waiting for what he would say. And he now called one PAMSEC, say, some of these things were not clearly.
But sincerely, being that as it may, couldn't these things be reversed in the circumstances? To me, it's just like an old man on his deathbed, sick and not in the right state of mind, and being made to append certain changes to his will. In that condition, in that state, such things are contested. So, but what perhaps would a desperation with which we need that money now, which we need the Chinese.
That's it. We are pretty desperate. Moreover, these are contracts that have been signed, projects that are already ongoing. We can't just renege right now.
But should we have been that desperate? What's the need?
People had interests. That's just it. People wanted things. Personal interest prevailed. It's obvious.
And corruption could also be involved.
I stand corrected, but I think this is pointing in one direction. That these guys, cabinet members of Mr. President, have discovered a lacuna and they are capitalizing on it. If you notice, parastatals, ministers and heads of MDAs and all that, it's not because they like us. It's because personal interests, are at, crossroads. And they know that most likely your guy at the top either does not know or does not pay more attention, So everybody's just capitalizing on that lacuna that there's really no class captain. So do as you like. Nobody's writing us maker. So just make the noise you want to make, cash out and all that. That's what I read.
I also smell the poison of corruption because
there's no other name. This is corruption.
If people who should know that they ought not to have signed such papers went ahead to sign it, then something must have happened. Something must have passed under the bridge. Definitely. Certain waters must have passed under the bridge.
When they came up with the signing of the empty contract. Mechi got angry, started getting up, started pointing fingers. Guys, stop being defensive now. Okay. The records are here. You people signed the empty pages. You want to deny that? And I said, no. Even you, the chairman, quoting him. I said, you, the chairman of the panel, you approached me. I said, okay.
Yeah. The more I make you also wonder that if we probe too much, that the Chinese may decide to
renege on their agreement. Really. I mean, when did we become? Were we born together? So my challenge is in all of this, Tola, nothing may eventually come out.
Definitely, of course, it's all about noise making. And like you said, there are interests, and if we are to pursue this to a logical conclusion, I would say we are in it already, and we should manage the situation as best as we can. But if we are to pursue these things to a logical conclusion, there a lot more damage won't be done in the circumstances. We have entered into this agreement, and
I can see one story in front of you.
Yeah, another worrisome story. Nigeria's comatose refineries go up 10 billion naira in 1 year.
Billion, sir.
10 billion naira. Although the nation's 4 refineries did not refine any crude oil in the last 1 year, they recorded operational deficits of almost 10 billion naira during the period. Documents sourced at the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) have revealed. According to documents, Warri Refinery recorded operational deficit of 2.67 billion naira in the period under review, while Kaduna Refinery and the 2 Port Harcourt refineries posted deficits of 4.18 billion naira and 2.7 billion naira respectively, to bring the total deficit to 9.546 billion naira. Now, Nigerian Tribune findings revealed that the refineries got almost 5.2 billion naira, that is about 2 trillion naira, as turnaround maintenance cost in 25 years. The findings show that to service the refineries, the federal government expended $216 million between 1993 and 1998, and also break down the amounts.
The refinery that is not working is incurring operational cost, including Kaduna that is inside up north, that no crude oil is reaching it, incurred 4 billion. We are due for commercial break. Let's make money here. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
ṣé ọ̀nà fún àyà tàbí inú rẹ̀ ń gbóná ni, inú rẹ̀ ń dàrú? Andrews liver salt ń gbógun ti inú kíkún àti àyà títa ní wàrà ń ṣẹ̀ṣà. Tí àyípadà kò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà rẹ o.
Conversation with Dayo and Tola.
And we're back. It's Conversation with Dayo and Tola, coming to you live from Oluyole 98.5 FM. 10 billion naira.
And it goes on and on and on.
Okay. Let's see if we can take one or more stories. No, you have the Akinyele story. Right?
Yes,
I think you should take
the
it.
Explanation coming from the Oyo State Commissioner of Police as to how suspected Akinyele serial killer escaped. He says the police inspector has been arrested over the matter. The Oyo State Commissioner of Police, Joe Nwachukwu Enwongu, on Monday gave an insight into how the suspected serial killer in Akinyele local government area of the state, Sunday Shodikpe, escaped from police custody. Enwongu also stated that a police inspector who was on duty when the suspect escaped had been arrested, detained, and was already facing an orderly room trial. He also vowed to properly investigate the circumstances surrounding the escape, just as a promise to arrest all those involved in the escape. And when we told reporters that Shodikpe escaped from police custody at the Mokola police station on Tuesday, August 11 at about 7 p.m. He said the police inspector who was not on duty collected the keys to the cell and opened the cell to take the suspect to have his bath, and from there he escaped. The police commissioner said efforts were already on to rearrest him by all stakeholders, including police personnel, community leaders, youth vigilantes, hunters, among others. Our suspected Akinyele serial killer escaped. Police inspector arrested, says Oyo CP.
Well, one thing is clear. The CP himself will come and explain.
It's coming this morning.
So we'll be on BCS AM 120 this morning. I'm going to say it again. Please, if you have light, turn on your TV, tune to BCS now. Just leave it there. okay, so that you won't miss it. It's better to hear directly from the horse's mouth, because I'm still wondering how that boy walked out.
There was a report on BCS TV yesterday where the reporter Shade Shayoyo did some investigative reporting, and she found out that the other suspects arrested, who were rumored to have been released by the police, are actually still in detention. We can tell.
So it was only that boy.
That is true. And one more thing, if that boy, the 19-year-old boy, if he's actually thinking straight, I think it would be better for him to actually turn himself in, because I shudder to think what would happen to him if he gets into the hands of the community.
Tola, it's clear they will most likely lynch him.
If he gets into the hands of the community or the vigilantes.
If he loves himself, it's better he turns himself
so
in.
if he's thinking straight, I think he should turn himself in.
That's the best. That's the best for him. Well, while we open the phone lines, international flights, PTF differs as Sirika fixes August 29. Minister of Aviation Adi Sirika on Monday announced that international flights into and out of Nigeria will resume on August 29. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, however, said that the date was not sacrosanct. And not that Basbos again. Can't you just agree? Adi Sirika used to come to PTF press briefing. So why will somebody announce something on Twitter and then the PTF will be saying something else? Just like the education thing, where the Minister of State said school will resume. His Oga said no, we have decided not to resume. Really?
Fears have been expressed in some quarters that it shouldn't be at this time that the second wave is being recorded in some countries. That we shouldn't be talking about
we need money.
we have to move on.
We need money. That's the truth. The whole world is moving on. 08055009850. That's the number to join the conversation from wherever you are. Scarcity of dollars disrupts banks, IOC, telcos, forex payment. Scarcity of dollar. Banks lower international spending limits on cards. We have a first caller here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Chief Adele from Tola.
Nice to have you, Chief Adele. Go ahead.
I really appreciate you for your update every morning.
Thank you so much, sir.
This issue of MK Sakamange loan approval. We are tired of this country. It means that we are going to run this country. So this APC government, are they not going to kill everybody in this country? It's still the president doesn't know what he's doing at all. All the minister and everybody under him are rogues. How can somebody be approved a loan on a blank paper? This country itself, only God will pay for. So. And that was the reason why he said he want the people from the National Assembly that will be their members. See what is happening now. Nobody can talk. Without the government being run before, are we going to open our eyes and collapse this country? Only God will stay for us. And the issue of Akiele, let us be sincere to ourselves. The Commissioner of Police should give the details on how that stupid boy escaped from their cell. They have hands to reach all these cases. Those police in Oluyole State, they have hands in this case. How can somebody that they are in their country escape? And they were telling people not to take law into their hand. How can not people take law into their hand when the person that was that are arrested, right, they escape from their custody.
All right, thank you,
These
Chief
police people, they need to be cautious. Good morning.
Morning, thank you so much. Once again, for those who might just be tuning in, the Commissioner for Police here in your state will be on AM 120, BCS AM 120, any moment from now. Okay, so tune in to BCS TV. Leave it there. The Commissioner will explain everything you need to know, at least almost everything. Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
sir. I am Mr. Tola. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, Oluyole from Okada.
Nice to have you, sir.
I want to say something. I want you to remind you people, sir, that did you know there is the wife of former military of Abasha, let me say the wife of former military leader, who if Nigerian government should collect their looted funds, that they are still richer than one businessman in Nigeria. Did you know that? If you remember, there's a statement long ago. If you now take it back to where these trillions and billions is being mentioned, I don't think if Nigerians, we are looking for a way forward individually, these people are ruling us. There's no check and balance in government, and no funds with no execution for projects, no tangible evidence to the citizens. Signing of empty pages of loan agreements and so many others like that. I think it's the prayer of these our fathers, the people going to church and the Babalaos that is still sustaining Nigeria till today. God, these are God, love Nigeria a lot. So I get Nigeria to that rule.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashala from Okaka. All right. Well, we need prayer. I think that's the only way out. There's no Messiah with magic wand anywhere. I mean, Adewoya Falabi on Facebook is saying, well done. Dan Kabir Baba is saying, dear auntie, it's only God that can save this country from corruption. It has eaten deep into our life. God save Nigeria. Matthew Olale is saying, good morning, dear auntie. You are well done. The Lord is your strength from Ileru. Thank you so much. Alagbe John Adetunji also on Facebook saying, good morning, Mr. Dear auntie. On the State of the Nation, why Lai Mohammed didn't ask Channels Television to pay 5 billion naira because it was aired on channel, but one radio station, it's the radio station that interviewed Obada Aminafia. They are the ones, they are the originators. That's why they're asking them to pay 5 million, not 5 billion. We'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Alhaji Ayilabogo.
Nice to have you,
from Lalate. I'm not the PRO of the police, but I want to talk about Akinyele issue. We need to call a spade a spade. It is not the entire police that are so bad. It is those who allow the accuser to run away. They have to be rebuked. They have to be blamed. You cannot continue to throw the child with the bath water because you want to hang a dog. You call him that dog name. Now people have been casting assertion on the police. It is not. We have a lot of them that are so good.
That's true.
For those who perpetrate crime or those who allow the accuser to run away, they should be brought to book. That will be the watchword. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure the commissioner will be happy. Somebody is fighting their cause. Since we have someone here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Dayo.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello,
your name and location.
My name is Sandy Omotoso from Adoloju, CSO.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
You see about that boy that run away from police net. My own thinking was that that boy has some facts that affect some prominent people. That is why they allow that boy to run away. Because it's number one at least now. If the boy run away like that and there is nowhere to be found, that means to say the case is end. The major man run away. Is he supposed to even do without handcuff and leg chain? So that is why I did not believe that the boy run away. And Abacha is the best president we have so far. Because all the money that he keep for us, we are collecting it now. The rest people, all the money they keep, where is it now?
All right.
Now only Abacha give us, we have the staff in his pocket.
Wow.
Cheers from Aduleju.
All right. Thank you so much. So from Aduleju, interesting. So Abacha is giving us, we are getting returns. Interesting. All right. Someone here.
Hello, good morning.
My name is Honorable.
Oh, nice to have you. Okay.
On the issue of Bayelsa State, what happened in Bayelsa is policies. You know, politicians. And I just want to respond on that because the way Tola is saying it is not like there is something behind this thing. Yes. There will be in principle and behind the scene. That is politics. Everything that happened in Bayelsa is politics.
Wow.
The guy that was that was denied the inauguration the other time.
Oh, you are making a point. Honorable Salami from OJ. Well,
do try to call us
okay.
back.
All right. All right. The phone line is still open. 08055009850.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
That must be Mr. Falado. Nice to have you. Go ahead, sir.
This Nigeria, I think that corruption will not destroy this country.
Amen.
It's very unfortunate. Somebody has not retired for almost 1 year, and you are spending $10 billion to do what? So it's very unfortunate in this country. I think Kachiku, the former minister for president, wants to solve that problem. But unfortunately, Nigeria is decided because that is their own influence. It's very unfortunate that a country, not political country, cannot refine oil on their own. Importing oil on their own. It's very unfortunate. Some people started saying Dangote is sorry. There's nothing about the Dangote sorry, but we should not forget that Dangote is a businessman. And purpose of doing business is to make profit. And you should also forget that Dangote borrow money to do that refinery. He has to refund this with that interest. You should not also forget that Dangote is not to be buying what we call it. I don't know why I'm short of that water. It's not to be buying it, to be refining it at international price. So I don't know what you are saying. That is necessary. It's good that you have private refinery. My own suggestion is that refinery should be given to private partnership for them to refine it.
Okay.
So yes, the people now need, but Nigeria said no because everything is as their government intervention. Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Falado from Kumakwa Yoludo. Right. Fumi Adewale on Facebook says, good morning, Mr. D. And kudos to you for the analysis. More strength. Our country need prayers. And I pray for divine visitation from above for our dear country before the oppressed turn back to the oppressor. I think we don't need bloody revolution in this country. God bless us. From Ubumosho. Adiola Sunday is also here saying, good morning. Well done. Have a wonderful day. On Chinese loan, God will deliver also. Amen. Christian Bola Adio also on Facebook saying, good morning, Mr. D and T. I like your conversation. Kudos to you guys. Another controversy in election tribunal. 2 judgments within tribunal. I don't understand. Please explain. We just did. I know this comment was while before we explained, so I'm sure you must have listened and now you know better. Let's go back to the phone line. Oh, we lost our call. Call back later. Let me pick more comments. It keeps dropping. Keep them coming. Mobolaji Elijah Odun on Facebook say, good morning, dear. What is really happening in this country? Our judiciaries have become the joke of the century. Concerning the Bayelsa election, let them arrive at decision on time. When will people enjoy the benefits of democracy in Bayelsa? Anyway, I reserve my comments so that they will not turn into hate speech. 5 million. 5 million. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We can hear you.
This is Asika Bola from Oklodo.
Nice to have you. Please go ahead.
Please permit me to ask one question. Where's our president?
He's in Aso sir.
Is he still alive?
He is.
Alive and well.
Well, if you know it, I'm like, this is that is going on in Nigeria. It's pathetic and tourism. I think you don't have a leader. See all the atrocities this are committing. And the president sitting right there, working there, hearing, and he does not take any action. I don't know why we are there. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much. So brief. Isaac Bola from Bomosho. Thank you so much for making that pretty brief. Phone line still open. Okay. Let me see if I can exhaust these comments. Sheyu Gunjimi, thank you. On Facebook. Thank you. Saying of the myriad of problems bedeviling our nation, one of them is due to the fact that square peg are put in round hole on the side of political appointment. They are just privileged to be there. No foresight at all. Wow. Okay. His opinion.
Hello, good morning. Hello,
you're on.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. We can hear you. Oh, brilliant. Oh, yes, please.
Now, the people, the guy that was supposed to be swearing the other time, that the court denied him because of what happened to his deputy. Now, the guy will not go and fold his hands and be looking. He also find his own way of living.
Hello.
Oh, there's something.
That's from your hand. Well, that will be all that we can take from you. The phone line is still open. 08055009850, 08055009850. That's the number to join the conversation from wherever you are. Okay, someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Tola, Oluyole is my name from Ogbomoso.
Nice to have you, sir.
I'm happy that you give us the opportunity to start in the conversation,
Okay.
to express our opinions. And in this way, I think we must maintain utmost decorum. It's not appropriate for somebody to refer to all the ministers of Nigeria as rogues. It's not appropriate. I did not make that. Let me say it. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Afolabi Olaniro. One thing we'll never do here is encourage any word that is inciting or insulting. All right. Thank you so much for that. Onwogu Solomon Ijeoma on Twitter is saying, no mind them, leave them to continue in the business. They think they are talking to fools. Okay, I'm wondering what exactly you are talking about. Oh, talking about a particular comment we made here. Okay, go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Diane Tola.
Good morning. Been a while. Nice to have you, ma.
Nigerian people who signed that white paper is left to be fine. There is God. We better be looking back in everything we are doing. Well, please let me reserve my comment. I don't get 5 million. Oh, you are so low.
Hadia.
Governor Seyi Makinde, Konibaje for Lai. Continue the good work. Especially to the all the students doing right. I wish them success.
All right. Thank you so much, Ajia, for your comment right there. The phone line is still open. 08055009850. Who is there?
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
We can hear you. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
We are with you. Good morning.
Okay, go ahead. Make your comment, sir.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Please go ahead.
Isiaka Marafa, go ahead. Oh, all right. The phone line is still open. Join the conversation. 08055009850.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm from the Oluyole.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
What I can just say is that this Nigeria, God will take control.
Amen.
I believe most of these politicians, most of them, they don't really know what they're doing. Because we are not good now. As Nigeria, we have every resources. For God's sake, at this we will take in us too. 80% of them are political eclectics. Please God will help us. Because I don't know, we can't back again. We can't do everything. So we will be looking. And I know God will take control one day.
Amen.
I'm from Oluyole. Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much, Aremu Maiwa from Ogbomoso. We can see we're out of time. Oh, there's someone there. 30 seconds. Last caller.
Last call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I am Reverend Babatunde speaking from Lalake.
Reverend, it has to be you. Please make it
Now,
brief.
what surprises me most is that anytime you will hear that we are going to borrow loan from another country, no country will come to Nigeria to borrow loan from us. What is wrong with Nigeria? Maybe the Lord help us.
Oh, well, that was even from your hand. Thank you so much, Reverend Mabatunde from Lanlate. That's the much we can take on the show. That's the last call for today. Chief Adele from Igbora, Ishola from Okaka, Alaji Ayela Bogo from Lanlate, Emmanuel Motosho, CSO from Aduloju, here in Ibadan, Salami Usman from Ojo. He called twice, but the phone didn't allow him. But at least we got what he wanted to say. He made his point. Mr. Faladun from Kumakwa Yolodo, Isaac Agbola from Ogbomosha, Falabi Olani also from Ogbomosha, Aji Agbomojo Wulewa, and Maiwa Remu, and finally Reverend Babatunde from Lanlate. Thank you so much for making it a day. Please tune in to BCS right now. AM 120, the Commissioner of Police will be live fielding, answering questions from us here in BCS. Don't miss it for anything. Till tomorrow when we come your way again, I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
I remain Tola Teriba. Good morning.
Up next, Sport Tidbits with Boluaji. Don't go anywhere.
Conversation with Dio and Tola.
Oluyole.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM. Oluyole.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM. Here we go.
Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Time check at 7:30 a.m. And you already know it's sport time right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM, the trailblazer. You know, with the pride of the nation. And of course, the best in the West. Yes, Boluaji Ogumalazi once again to bring you up to speed with all the happenings in the world of sports. I bring you the latest, the hottest, and of course, the juiciest news that you can only get on this radio dial. Not to forget, exclusive interviews. This morning, you'll be hearing from former Super Eagles captain John Obimikel as he speaks to the media for the first time as a Stoke City player. Don't forget the former Nigeria international and Chelsea midfielder signed for Stoke City yesterday, and of course spoke to the press immediately after securing that transfer to the championship side yesterday. We'll also be taking a look at updates coming from Ogbomosho this morning as regards the Ogbomosho maiden edition of the Ogbomosho 10-kilometer road race. We'll also take a look at news coming from Naples this morning as that city welcome looking forward to the arrival of Nigerian Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen. Also on the show this morning, we'll be discussing UEFA Champions League football, yes, and of course all to expect as far as the NBA is concerned this lovely morning. Without further ado, let's kickstart the show this morning from Ogbomosho, where the maiden edition of the Ogbomosho 10-kilometer road race will now hold on Saturday, the 20th of November. The first road race to be held in the ancient city was originally scheduled to hold last May, but had to be shifted due to the nationwide lockdown occasioned by the COVID-19 crisis, according to the chairperson of the organizing committee, yes, Prince Oyebamiji Aderemi. He said now that the federal government has given the go-ahead for non-contact sports to go ahead. We have rescheduled the first Ogbomosho road race for November 28th. He said that the organizing committee has written to the AFN, that's the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, communicating the new date, and of course they've been assured of necessary and of course tanker support by the governing body of athletics in Nigeria. They said they've also written to the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, who has approved the road race. Well, one of the major aims of the marathon is to improve the quality of life health-wise, and also you all know that running helps to build strong bones, as it is a weight-bearing exercise. Well, the Ogbomosho 10-kilometer road race will be flagged off at Oja Akonde and ends at the Seun Ogunlola Stadium. put in Ogbomoso. While away from Ogbomoso, let's get straight to United Kingdom, where Nigerian midfielder John Obi Mikel has joined Championship side Stoke City on a 1-year deal. John Obi Mikel joins Morgan Fox, James Chester, and Stephen Fletcher in checking in at the Bet365 Stadium ahead of the forthcoming Championship season. John Obi Mikel says he hopes to help instill a lost winning mentality at the club and also help the Potters push for promotion to the Premier League come next season. John Obi Mikel is on the show this lovely morning.
You've just put pen to paper to become a Stoke City player. Just give us your initial thoughts having joined the football club.
Excited, I think is the word. Yeah, it's been a week or so, talking to the club and talking to the manager, try to know exactly what the ambition of the club is, and also my ambition, and what I want to do as a player. And I think we've got a good match here. My ambition and the club ambition seems to be, pretty much the same. And so I'm pretty excited to see, where we can go with this partnership. I'm here to help the club get promoted. I think this club belongs in the Premier League. That's where it should be. And with the right with the players that is here, that we have here, and the manager also that we have here, and a good structure, of the club, I think we have a good chance.
Is it that ambition that attracted you to the football club?
Yeah, definitely. I've spoken to a few clubs and a few options here and there, but after speaking to the manager, told me exactly what he wants, and the ambition is something that I want. I still want to win. I still want to achieve something. And after talking to the manager, I decided this is the right place for me to continue my career.
Hey, listen to John Obi Mikel, the former Lyn Oslo of Norway player who won a host of domestic and European honors during a glittering 11-year stay at Chelsea, returns to English football after a spell in Turkey with Trabzonspor. Mikel made more than 317 appearances for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, helping them to win the Premier League title on 2 occasions, as well as 3 FA Cups. Don't forget UEFA Champions League and Europa League. After a spell in China, he played for Middlesbrough after joining them on a short-term deal in January last year, making 19 appearances. He won 91 caps before retiring from international football following last year's African Cup of Nations. From one Nigerian to another, the mayor of Castel di Sangro in Naples, Angelo Caruso, has revealed that the old city is ready for the arrival of striker Victor Osimhen at the Italian club Napoli. Osimhen, who won the Under-17 World Cup with Nigeria's Golden Eagles back in 2015, recently signed on a 5-year deal at Napoli, believed to be worth 50 million euros, with a further 20 million add-ons. The Italian club, after intense week of negotiations, officially announced the signing of the Super Eagles striker on the 31st of July, ahead of the forthcoming Italian Serie A season that has been billed to start on the 19th of September. Caruso, mayor of Castel di Sangro, spoke about Osimhen in a recent interview, saying that the expectation is high and a lot of tourists have been asking questions about the arrival of Victor Osimhen. He confirmed that they are so excited about the prospect of having Victor Osimhen playing in the city week in, week out. Osimhen, remember, scoped a major award for himself after the reliable striker was voted as Lille's best player of the year in the recently concluded Ligue 1 season. Of course, the 21-year-old has been in form of his life since joining Lille of France from Sporting Charleroi of Belgium last summer, netting 18 goals and making 6 assists in 38 matches across all competitions. But I'm moving away from football. Let's talk quick athletics and of course politics right there. As regards athletics this morning, President Athletics Federation of Nigeria Ibrahim Goso has kicked against his dismissal as chairman of Zamfara State Athletics Association. Zamfara State Directorate of Sports Development yesterday, in a statement, announced that Gusau has been removed. The statement signed by the State Director of Sports, Esekaya Shamil, said that Gusau was removed as the Zamfara Athletics boss after extensive deliberations by the management and stakeholders of the association. The statement added that Jamilu Gusau has been appointed as the new chairman of the state athletic body. The AFN has been in crisis after the federation, at a congress chaired by Gusau, declared autonomy from the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development back in December last year. Another faction of the body, led by Gusau's vice, that's Olamide George, subsequently suspended Gusau and later impeached him, appointing George as the new AFN president. But the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja on the 1st of July, however, declared Gusau's removal as the AFN president illegal, but the Sport Ministry appealed the judgment of the Court of Appeal. Speaking with newsmen yesterday, Gusau said that he was duly elected into office, adding that those behind his dismissal don't have an understanding of how things work. The chairmanship position is not by appointment but through election. So how can someone say I have been removed and somebody else appointed? Normally we are elected. End of quote. He says he has been quiet because of the issue in court, but Sports Federation's chairman are not appointed. He said he contested for election and of course won. Well, politics are playing through the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. Let's see how that pounds out. Alright, before we go on this morning, let me take this quick commercial break. When I return, we'll be heading straight to the world of tennis, talking about the US Open.
Mikolo, my engine sounds like brand new. Is it not the same Mobile Super 1000 you used to service it?
Not the same Mobile Super 1000, but levels don't change.
Yes! Mobile Super 1000 XHP is now improved to meet the highest standard of quality APISN. So, whether you buy Mobile Super 1000 XHP, Mobile Super 2000 semi-synthetic, or even the new fully synthetic Mobile Super 3000, you are guaranteed the APISN perfection in every drop.
Make it mobile.
You're still listening to Spotted Beat on Oluyole 98.5 FM and moving straight to the world of tennis, where world number 2, Simona Halep, is the latest leading women's player to withdraw from the US Open. Romanian Halep is the 6th top 10 player to opt out of the Grand Slam, which will be played behind closed doors in New York from the 31st of August. According to her, she said that she wants to put her health first before anything. The Canadians defending champion Bianca Andreescu and Australian world number 1 Ashley Barty are among the other big names to have pulled out. Ukraine's Elena Svitolina, Kiki Bertens of the Netherlands, and Belinda Bencic have also decided not to play in the tournament amid fears of COVID-19. Looking like a depleted US Open already, but let me inform you that two-time Grand Slam, American great Serena Williams has committed to play in New York along with Japanese 2018 champion Naomi Osaka. We'll also have Sofia Kenin at the competition as well, which means it will still be one of the best ever, despite missing some top players in the world. Moving straight to basketball and talking NBA. Game 1 of the first round playoff series, where Kawhi Leonard registered 29 points, 12 rebounds and 6 assists, and of course 3 steals to help the LA Clippers produce a 118-110 victory over the Dallas Mavericks in the opening game of their first round playoff series. In other games played in the hours of today, Boston Celtics took a 1-0 lead with 109 points loss to 76ers at 101, and of course Toronto Raptors defeated Brooklyn Nets 134-110, while Denver Nuggets got the better of Utah Jazz 135-125 points. More games will be played tonight and in the early hours of tomorrow. Straight up, let's move to the UEFA Champions League. Looking forward to a big night here for Champions League football later today, where Kylian Mbappe, we understand is fit to start for Paris Saint-Germain against RB Leipzig in tonight's UEFA Champions League semi-final in Lisbon, and that's according to their coach Thomas Tuchel, as RB Leipzig slugged out with Paris Saint-Germain. The French striker has been struggling with an ankle injury in recent weeks, but he came off the bench to help PSG beat Atlanta in the last 8 and has trained since the game last Wednesday. The 21-year-old came on last against Atlanta with his team trailing 1-0 to the Italian club, but inspired PSG to a net victory, setting up the winner for Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting in injury time after Marquinhos had leveled in the 90th minute. He has scored 30 goals in 35 appearances in all competitions this season, including 5 in 8 in the UEFA Champions League. Mbappe returns to fitness will restore their potent attacking partnership with Brazilian forward Neymar, who has 19 goals in 25 starts this very campaign and has impressed his manager with his leadership qualities. As well as Mbappe, Tuchel will also have Argentine winger Angel Di Maria available following suspension. However, goalkeeper Keylor Navas, previously a Champions League winner with Real Madrid, is out with a thigh injury after coming off hot late in the quarterfinal match, meaning Sergio Rico is likely to start tonight. In addition, midfielder Edison Ghana Gay is a major doubt according to the club because of a muscle injury. For Paris Saint-Germain, today's game represents a first European Cup / Champions League semi-final since 1995, having reached the last 16 for the previous 3 seasons and the quarterfinals 4 campaigns on the bounce before that. RB Leipzig coach Julian Nagelsmann, who worked together with Tuchel in Augsburg's reserves back about 12 years ago, believes that the best way to try and stop Paris Saint-Germain is to defend as a unit. Tonight's game will also be RB Leipzig's first Champions League semi-final appearance in just their second time in the competition. Even more remarkable is that 11 years ago, they were competing in the 5th tier of German football. Well, they have reached this stage under the guidance of Nagelsmann in his debut season in charge at the club. At the age of 33, he is the youngest coach in the history to reach a Champions League semi-finals. And like PSG, they scored late to seal their place in the last 4 with Tyler Adams netting the winner against Atletico Madrid in the 80th minute after Joao Felix had cancelled out Dani Olmo's opener for the German side. Big game tonight, and of course we'll be looking forward to that very one. Away from UEFA Champions League, let's talk Europa League as a brace for Lautaro Martinez and Romelu Lukaku, and a goal from Danilo D'Ambrosio saw Inter Milan trash Ukrainian side Shakhtar Donetsk 4-0 in the semi-final of the Europa League in Cologne yesterday. The win means that Inter Milan have now qualified for the Europa League final for the first time since 1998, then known as UEFA Cup. Inter Milan defeated fellow Serie A club Lazio 3-0 to claim their 3rd title in Europe's 2nd-tier club competition. Parma was the last Italian club to play in the Europa League final back in 1999 when they defeated Marseille by 3-0. Also, Inter Milan will be making a first appearance in a European Cup final since 2010 when they defeated Bayern Munich 2-0 in the Champions League inside the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Former Nigerian international Victor Moses was in action for Inter Milan after coming on for D'Ambrosio in the 81st minute of the encounter. Inter opened scoring in 19 minutes through Martinez before D'Ambrosio made it 2-0 on the 64th minute. Martinez got his second of the game in the 74th minute, while Romelu Lukaku had the 4th in the 70th minute. And with 6 minutes remaining in the game, Lukaku grabbed his second goal to make it a 5-0 yesterday. Sweet victory for them. Inter Milan will now face 5-time winners of the Europa League, Sevilla, on Friday, the 21st of August, in Cologne. Well, another quick commercial break on the show this lovely morning, and when I return, we'll be taking more stories on the show.
ṣé ọ̀nà fún àyà tàbí inú rẹ̀ ń gbóná ni inú rẹ̀ ń dàrú Andrews liver salt ń gbógun ti inú kíkún àti àyà títa ní wàrà ń ṣẹ̀ṣà tí àyípadà kò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì lọ rí dókítà rẹ o.
Welcome back to listening to Spotted Beat on Oluyole 98.5 FM with Boluwaji Ogunmola. Barcelona yesterday sacked their manager, quickly sensing this after their humiliating defeat to Bundesliga side FC Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich defeated them 8-2, and of course in the quarterfinals last weekend. Well, immediately he was sacked. Well, we get a report that Ronald Koeman has reportedly agreed in principle to become the next Barcelona manager after the club confirmed the sacking of Kike Setien. Moving on this morning, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has confirmed that he intends to step down from his Anfield post when his contract expires in the year 2024. He says he wants to take a break and reconsider his options. While Manchester City also yesterday announced that their outgoing Spanish playmaker David Silva will be duly immortalized with his statue outside the Etihad Stadium. Well, fans are always clamoring for the statue of Yaya Toure at the Etihad Stadium as well. We see how that pounds out. And Silva yesterday also joined the Spanish side Real Sociedad on a 2-year deal. That'll be all of Spotted Beat this lovely morning. A big thanks to everyone who's been part of today's production, and bigger thanks to you and you for listening. The show returns tomorrow morning. Till then, do have a lovely, lovely day and stay safe.
See you.